Okay. Good for you.
I'm very sorry.
We're here with friends. Come on, don't lie to us, baby. How could you come for a nice cruise on a boat? Uh-oh. There's gonna be a party, too. Tons of celebrities and industry people will be coming along. Are you even listening to us? Sorry about the wait. Where the hell's Futaba, by the way? You know she's gone? Uh-oh. Huh, so you were serious about being here with friends. That's what we've been saying from the start. Don't you find it boring spending your time with kids like them? It's far more interesting than anything involving you two. What was that? Hey, let's just let the children have fun with fellow children. We'll be going now. What creeps?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in like that. Those guys just wouldn't stop pestering us. You did well to hold them off. To be honest, I was nearly at my wit's end. By the way, where are Futaba and Morgana?
Huh? What?
Ooh, are those lobsters, one in each hand? I was wondering about that myself. Are you going to make them into sashimi, or perhaps roast them whole? Ah, look at his eyes.
What?
Enough of your vile postulations. These are purely for the sake of visual appreciation. We did tons of stuff today. All in all, guess coming to the beach was pretty worth it. Huh. Freaking lobsters.
We should probably start heading home.
Agreed. Let's pack up.
Futaba seemed fine in the crowd, too. So it looks like she's overcome her last exercise.
I guess she's overcome her agoraphobia, right?
Hey, Futaba! We're going home! Stop standing around and help us!
You know, all this time, I thought that it was my fault that my mom died.
Uh-oh, she's gonna have a big revelation on the beach, huh?
Uh-huh.
It's because everyone said that I killed her. Everyone looked at me thinking I was a murderer. I ended up hating this world. That's why I shut myself in and covered my ears. I wished my mom would come back to life. Sometimes I'd wake up and think it was all a dream. But nothing had changed in the world. That's why I'd sleep again. It'd be a repeat of that. I loved my mom. I wanted to become like her. How she'd work late into the night. How she'd wake up early and make me a boxed lunch every day. How she'd do her best to further her research. How she'd scold me for peeking at her notes.
Aww.
It was cognitive science, wasn't it? The cognitive world can become distorted through desires. If it becomes distorted, a person begins exhibiting problematic behavior in reality. That cognitive world disappears when you remove its core, and further problematic actions stop.
Isn't that about palaces?
That's the metaverse! She knew about that? It made no sense back then. But now I understand, after it actually happened to me.
Yeah, so somehow her mother found out about the metaverse and all that, was doing research into it.
All I thought about was my mom. I was trapped in a cognitive labyrinth. I couldn't get out of it. There was nothing I could do by myself.
That's why you asked us to steal your heart? That's a huge jump in logic in so many ways.
At first, I didn't believe the rumors about the Phantom Thieves, that they steal hearts. But I overheard you accidentally. I learned that you were near me.
Overheard? Ah, the bug. So why were you listening in on LeBlanc in the first place?
That's right, I forgot she had LeBlanc, bugged.
I had to keep an eye on Sojiro, make sure he was actually working.
Talk about an awful hobby.
Haha.
You talked about stealing hearts. When I heard that, I was so happy I jumped up and down. I thought maybe the Phantom Thieves could cure my heart.
You could have just told us from the start.
You might have been wary of me if I asked out of nowhere. And besides, you could have been bad guys. That's why I cautiously got in contact with you. I checked many times to see how you'd react.
Yes. You had us twisted around your little finger.
But Futaba, you didn't talk to anyone besides Boss for a long time, right?
Yeah, completely antisocial.
You must have needed a lot of courage to contact the Phantom Thieves.
There were 2 reasons for it. One was Medjed's taunt. The Phantom Thieves were so pitiful, it frustrated me. I would have been in trouble if they got disbanded, too.
Indeed. You were our only hope.
The other was what I heard through wiretapping LeBlanc. Sojiro was being blamed with lies, like abusing me.
Right,
He
right.
was being threatened to spill everything about my mom.
Talk about making shit up.
It made me sad, and it hurt. I thought, I have to save Sojiro. I gotta do something.
So that's why.
The Phantom Thieves.
Huh. Black Mage C-Type said, there's a plot hole. If Futaba never left the house, how did she plant the bug in LeBlanc? Huh. It's a good point, I guess. Right. Because there's no way, like, you can't... See, I'm trying to think, like, a bug, you'd have to physically plant a device there. It's not like you could... Like, for example, if Sojiro had a laptop out with a webcam, then they could have said, oh, she hacked it, so the webcam was automatically pulling in audio or whatever, right? But it's not, you're right, it's not really explained. We haven't seen any kind of high tech there, so I don't know. That's a good point.
I didn't think you guys would be taking such risks for me. I didn't think you'd worry about me so much. I'm sorry that I acted like I doubted you guys.
Encelor says she shoved the bug up Sojiro's ass.
Do you believe in us now?
Yeah, I can tell. You aren't bad guys. That's why I have a request. Let me join your team.
There's nothing to join. You're already one of us.
I'll be honest. Changing people's hearts isn't my goal. I want to learn what happened to my mom. The reason why she was killed.
That's good, because ongoing mystery now. I'll have to figure this out. The mystery of what happened to her mom.
Killed?
It was written in her notes. Should the self in the cognitive world die, the self in the real world would lose consciousness.
Is this about mental shutdowns?
Then the criminal that Kaneshiro mentioned.
Oh, shit. So what they're saying is that in the other world, the metaverse, this other person who could jump to the metaverse like the Phantom Thieves killed the mother's counterpart in the metaverse, which made her lose control of her body, so she didn't jump in front of a car. She basically passed out in the middle of the street and then a car hit her. Huh.
Yes, that could be the case. I don't like pursuing this line of thought, but perhaps your mother's shadow was...
I don't know for sure. But right before my mom died, she didn't seem right.
In what way?
No matter how much I talked to her, she wouldn't answer back. And she didn't jump into the road, it was more like she collapsed and fell in.
There you go.
That's why I thought what was written in the notes was real, and looked into it. I read books, checked theses that were released online. I even snuck into the networks of various research labs to look at their classified data.
That's why you're good at hacking. What kind of brain do you have?
But I didn't figure anything out. My mom's research was nowhere to be found. She was killed by someone, and her research was treated like it never existed. I bet it's them. Those adults in the black suits who read the fake suicide note.
So who are these adults who basically covered up the whole thing?
I'll never forgive them.
Adults in black suits.
Futaba.
Sounds like the CIA or something, right?
If I stay with you guys, I think I can find out more about that world. Then eventually, it might even lead to those men in black. It's a super personal reason why I want to join you. Is that okay? Or would I just be dead weight?
Of course, another teammate.
If anything, you're dependable. Ain't that right, Mona?
Why are you looking at me? Are you trying to say I'm inadequate?
Well, she was more useful than you, as a matter of fact.
Damn.
Hey, that's inexcusable! This is what our Phantom Thieves are like. But I hope we get along, Futaba.
Thanks.
Let's leave those two be. Why don't we lose no time and decide on Futaba's codename?
Now we got happy music.